We're very pleased to announce the winner of the Best Fund House overall, Aditya Birla Sun Life Asset Management. I'm joined by A. Balasubramanian, the CEO of Aditya Birla Sun Life. Bala, congratulations.
Thank you, my pleasure.
Your team's done such an excellent job over the years, both on the equity and debt side, delivering returns for investors. Just wanted to hear what's really been the recipe for success, for this continuing outperformance in your funds.
I think it's been the systems and process, and also the ability of money managers in terms of spotting the opportunities both in equity and fixed income on a continuous basis year after year, and following the basic discipline of the investment process that has been set aside as part of the whole the team exercise to deliver our performance. And last, of course, is the collective wisdom that comes as part of the team engagement in order to build the right portfolio to deliver the consistent return. I think it's been the primary driver of delivering this performance. And there has been the what I can call it as a mantra, that has been the practice which is being followed by the investment team, which is work with the synergy between equity and fixed income in order to share ideas, in order to exchange the macro views, and then actually combine them suitably in their own portfolio action.
Great, and it's really working well as you articulated for your team. In terms of the way the industry is really headed, so we've seen so much of activity over the last 2-3 years. I think 2017 was a fantastic year, for yourself and also the industry. Where do you see the industry and yourselves 5 years down the line? What sort of ambitions do you have for Aditya Birla?
I think clearly we are in a high growth trajectory. The last few years, especially post 2014, we've been seeing close to about 30% rate of growth for the MF industry as a whole. And Aditya Birla Sun Life Mutual Fund have been inching up each year in terms of increasing our market share, increasing our customer base, and that has been the direction which we are also moving, and growing marginally better than the industry. We've been growing about 40%, and the industry is growing about 30%. And this, of course, comes on the back of consistent investment performance. At the same time, consistent engagement at the ground level in order to build our size. The way we see the next 5 years, asset management industry today, it takes away about 18% of the banking industry size, which used to be somewhere around 12% few years back. And I see this keep going beyond 18%, going up to, I say, about 25% of the banking industry size. The next 5 years could potentially be the mutual fund industry size, which essentially means the total industry size of close to about 25 lakh crore, out of which close to about 9 lakh crore is coming into equity. It can potentially double in the next 5-6 years. So essentially it's coming from large pool of contribution coming from not just a few markets, it's across the India. The penetration levels have been growing and going up, and all of them should lead us to growing faster than the industry. But at Aditya Birla Sun Life Mutual Fund, clearly the vision is to be a leader in all parameters, including delivering consistent performance and good experience to the customers, and at the same time expand the market across the country in order to bring in a sustainable business model.
Okay. So you spoke about some of these triggers in terms of obviously increasing the penetration. If I were to ask, what is on your wish list from the industry participants, the regulator, that you would like, which would enable us as an industry to grow even faster?
I think wish list is not much, except increase the customer base. See, one of the wish list that as an industry have been having, clearly if you look at the number of PAN holders in the industry, is less than 2 crores.
That's right.
As against the potential investable population could be somewhere around 35 crores. So the 2 crores customer base and relation to the size of the economy, in relation to the size of the investable population, seems to be low. So one of the wish list as well as the hard work, which currently I think goes behind in building the business, is around increasing the customer base. And that's why I think if you look at the industry level, the mutual fund SIA, which is nothing but an awareness campaign program that is being rolled out at industry level, and each one of us as a mutual fund have been riding on that the campaign is around increasing the customer base, which is I think is one of the wish not only the mutual fund industry players will have, not only Aditya Birla Capital mutual will have, even as a nation, including the ministry level, would like to have larger participation come through the mutual fund in the capital market by way of increasing the customer base.
Okay, I think that's a very valid point that you made. Just you've been a fund manager at heart, so my last question to you is, what is your take on what should investors be doing at this point of time in these kind of markets that we're seeing? What's your advice to them?
I think clearly the cycle that we see in the market goes ups and downs. My own experience, having now been earlier money manager and having been part of the MF industry for more than 25 years, every 2.5 to 3 years we see reasonably good buoyant capital market, but 1.5 years we see a dull market. Again we see a good market for 1.5 2 years period, and that cycle we go through. I think what has remained constant in the whole period is actually the rate of growth. It can vary from 7 to sometimes 6.5%, sometimes it can go to about 8% GDP growth. But what has remained constant is the growth with some kind of ups and downs. At the same time, corporate financial performance also continues to show an improvement year after year. At the end of the day, India being a growing country, both through the investments in infrastructure as well as in consumption, it is bound to have larger growth coming as we move forward. Therefore, one of the advice that we keep giving, of course, investors is build the portfolios in mutual funds for the longer term benefit, to make the longer term goal that every individuals may have and may aspire to have, and use the mutual fund platform actually for the longer term vision in their mind for investment. So the short term fluctuations should be seen as an opportunity in order to build the portfolio rather than holding back their investments and expecting the market to either come down for investing and so on and so forth.
Sure. I think great pearls of wisdom, Bala. Thank you so much, and congratulations once again.
Yeah, thank you, my pleasure.